Good evening, my name is Jackie, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about ergonomics, especially ergonomics in an office space. So the question on people's minds is usually, what is ergonomics? Well, the first definition was, by the exact meaning of the word, the study of work. So you have ergo, which is Latin for work, and nomics, which is the study of. However, in the modern times, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the exact definition is an applied science concerned with designing and arranging things people use so that the things and the people work efficiently and safely together. So just a couple things about ergonomics to get us started. It was first sort of invented, I guess you could say, by a gentleman back in 1857. Excuse me if I get his name wrong, but it's Wojciech Jastrowski. When he wrote 4 articles in Nature and Industry, he talked about different things in just an office and an industry space. He wanted to talk about the environment and comfortable, environments, how people work, and then that just snowballed. Everyone slowly got more into ergonomics and more into ergonomics, and he's actually the one who came up with the term ergonomics. Let's see, recently the Department of Labor conducted a survey that found that people who put in work claims for compensation, if they experienced a sprain or a strain, they were out approximately 23 days for recovery time. Whereas people who fell or tripped, they were only out a week. And people who came in contact with harmful substances, 3 days. So it tells you how much time these companies are losing, because they have to still pay the workers' compensation costs, because it happened on the job. This 23 days that they're paying someone to do nothing. So, what are some ways that you can improve your environment? Well, there's several different ergonomic office equipment, like ergonomic chairs. The proper office chairs have several criteria. You should be able to sit with your back supported, with your feet planted firmly on the ground, and your knees should be at a 90-degree angle. So you don't want to be sitting up too high or too low, because your knees are going to get sore and your back will be sore. It just continues on with that. And one of the most important things that people overlook, aside from your back support, is the ability to raise the chair up or down so that your wrists are straight when you reach out to the keyboard. Because if your chair is up too high, your wrists are bent. If your chair is down too low, your wrists are bent when you're trying to hit the keyboards. So here's a quick diagram of how a chair should be. So you notice the 90-degree angle for your arms. They should be fully extended over the keyboard, and your back should be completely straight. So one of the things they say is your ears should be above your shoulders. So if you're leaning forward, your ears are not going to be above your shoulders, so your back is not properly aligned. And then your legs. So your legs should be at a 90-degree angle as well, and you want your feet flat on the ground or on a footrest. If your chair has to be up too high, make sure that you have a footrest under it so that your knees are still at the 90-degree angle. So a couple of ergonomic style chairs that you can choose. They range from the really expensive and very adjustable varieties, where you can adjust the height of the seat, the height of the back, the width of the lumbar support, the armrests move up and down, to the fairly well-priced versions, like the one on the right. Those are ones actually, if you go to the library here at Tunxis, they have similar chairs to this. They still give you the proper back support. They raise up and down, and the armrests, if you notice, they also raise up and down, so that you have the proper rest, and you can set it to the height of the tables, so that your wrists are straight. Another great piece of office equipment that you should always consider when talking about ergonomics are keyboards. Now, there's 2 basic types of ergonomic keyboards. One is the curved keyboard. So the keys are all in the same location, essentially, but each of the rows are slightly curved, so that your hands aren't going straight out and your wrists are kind of bent. So you're more at a natural angle. And then there's the split keyboard, where each hand's keys are separated by a space. I'll show you an example of them. So the one on the left is a curved keyboard. You can notice that they're curved at a natural angle, whereas the split keyboard on the right are completely separated. So you can rest your arms as they normally would. Okay. And in fact, some keyboards can be split down the middle completely, so you can move them however is most comfortable for you. And actually, with an ergonomic keyboard, they found that more people can type more quickly and with less pain, and you don't have to take as many breaks. So that means that your company is getting more work for the less time. You're not going to have to worry about overtime for when you don't finish your assignments or anything. You don't have to get up and walk around so often. You don't have to shake out your wrists. Plus, it's less pain, so your employees are going to be happier. Okay, so just as a whole, I have made up an equation for ergonomics based on all the articles I read. As long as you employ ergonomic techniques, like a good chair, a good desk, a good keyboard and mouse, you can reduce RSIs, which are repetitive stress injuries. So if you're typing constantly, you develop carpal tunnel syndrome. That's a repetitive stress injury. So if you have a reduced repetitive stress injuries, your employees are more comfortable. And if the employees are more comfortable, they're happier because they're not grouchy, they're not fidgeting, they're not getting up and down. And when they're more happy, they're more productive. Employees who don't have to get up and move around constantly, who can sit comfortably at their desk for long periods of time, get more work done than the average person. If they don't have to keep adjusting their chair, they don't have to keep adjusting the keyboard or the monitor, your neck gets crunched or your back starts getting hurt, so you have to stand up, you walk around the office, you're losing time that you could be working on an assignment. Another tip for ergonomics is, even with all of these items, even with the proper chairs that give the right support, even with the keyboards that are curved for your wrist, you always want to take in to do some stretching routines before you come to work. I know that sounds weird when you're going into an office environment. Why would you stretch if you're going to sit at a computer? But even just finger stretches, bend your back, twist a little, and especially do that on your lunch break as well. Because if you go away from your desk on your lunch break, you're going to stiffen back up, you're going to move in different ways than you would be at your office. So you want to make sure you roll your neck a little and definitely extend your fingers a lot. And this gentleman, Josh Kirst, he runs an ergonomics company. And I always confuse economics and ergonomics, no matter how much research I did. He was the head of a ergonomics company. They go around and they design products and help companies institute new ergonomic policies. And his big idea for quotes is that at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. Healthy people perform better. So as long as your employees are strain-free, stress-free, and they're happy, they're going to perform much better. Because what do a grumpy employee does? What a sore employee does? They sit around, they mope, they fidget, they move. They don't do their job as efficiently or as quickly. So as long as you take care of the employee, they're going to in turn be happier, and they're going to be more productive in their work. I have the list of, these are all the different articles that I read. And if anybody is interested in any of the information, I'd be happy to give you a copy of the article. And these are just where I got some of the pictures of the chairs and the keyboards. Now, most of the ergonomic chairs and keyboards you can find in most office supply stores, and heck, even on Amazon. So you can go from really expensive to really cost efficient. So any budget, you can get a really good office equipment. It's never a good idea to overlook ergonomics in your job. Thank you.